Knight f3, d3, and looks like our opponent's going for a fianchetto setup, so no stress for us. I'll gain a little bit of space. Don't mind if I do. If he's going to give me the space, I should probably take it. Okay. So we always have knight to h4 there. So I think we'll be running into immediate problems. I was definitely thinking about h3. Also d4 should always... That move should always come to mind. Especially when you see expansion over there. I think we'll go for d4. It only makes sense. Someone starts sending it over there. Gotta get that one in. Let's take. And seems to me like knight c4 will be pretty strong next. So go ahead and throw that in. This pawn structure. There's a reason our position is so good, and you're looking at it right there. Yes, sir. Ooh, the light squares we're going to be feasting on here. f5, knight f1 to f5, for example. And we can play moves like g3 very freely here because, yeah, there's not really any weakness on the light squares anymore. Knight takes g5, also just, I think it just wins here, so we're going to go for that. Also threatens f7. And once we take, we'll also be threatening f7. Not even sure he realizes that. So yeah, we're threatening both of these. And queen h4 looks, yeah, probably like one of the best moves here. We can go queen g6, but after king f8, just want to make sure that we're still okay there. I think so. We could go to f5 after. And knight d5, I think we could even consider taking. But I think taking e7 is going to be the win. Yeah, he does go king f8. We want to play rook d1, absolutely. And I don't really know how he's getting out of this pin. This looks like a forever pin. Rook d8, rook d1. Okay. Taking, maybe the threat? Not sure. Here, I think black actually will take multiple times there. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to allow that. Let's go b5. Annoying that the queen takes on c4 and guards f7. Otherwise, I could see some things working like that. Go h4, I guess. I'm actually looking at rook over. Try to go rook b7. And there's a pin here, so it's quite uncomfortable. Have to be careful of queen check and knight g4 after king h2. g3 will be a nice safe move to play. We can also go queen back to g6. Maybe should have done it there. But yeah, g3 now I feel totally safe on queen d1, so rook b7 is a massive threat, I guess. Let's go here, preparing rook b6. This is a pretty clean game. Taking was a little bit easier. GG. Let's have a look there. Probably missed the simple takes on t6 and queen f7 for mate. But then we wouldn't have been able to show the pre-moves off. I'm very much a queenside expander. If you let me play a4, a5, even a6, I will. Like, that's just it. So I'll basically play as many moves here as I'm permitted. If I play a4 and you play a5, then sure, maybe that's it. d4 as a reaction to kingside attack energy is definitely correct. And here, once we played knight c4, and definitely once the capture happened, got to start appreciating this pawn structure. So much better for white, and especially after g5. Oof, that 5 square is getting killed, and here, it's just it's a massacre. The eval is like, you know, plus a billion. So not even converted super well, but had some nice pre-moves at the end. Just make sure when people start sending it at your king that time to open the center with d4. We've had lots of success with that. Okay, gonna get e5 in. c6 as usual. Okay, so he's going here. I think we'll go knight c5 because I want to get a4 in. And on bishop e3, knight d7, because we have to defend this. Queen a5 looks pretty good. Definitely would have played knight b3 there and just taken the bishop, I think, but didn't get around to it. Knight b3. Could have had that dark square bishop off the board. This pawn is definitely annoying. There's going to be a rook appearing on d1, I suspect. Queen d2 drops that. Okay, he actually plays maybe the best move, question mark. f4 runs into that, but I was going to say, clearly he wants to play it. That is evident. So you need to be ready for this type of move. Let's go here. Bishop on d7. He does go straight for it. I think we can put the knight on g6. And yeah, bishop d7 and swing this rook over. Then the a pawn should be very well monitored. And this knight will either make it to e5 or at the very least stay nicely on g6. Takes. I think I could take back with either one. Tying that down. Bishop h5. Yeah, don't really mind the capture, but of course, let's go into e5 while we can. This is well defended, so not too worried about it. We have knight d3 as an idea next to win b2. Looks like he's going to get out of that, allow knight f2, and then play king h2. I think that's the plan. And if we move the rook, we could wind up just losing material there. Let's go for this one first. We'll see if this is possible. I don't think it is. That is, though. A little bit more annoying. H5 has some small issues with it. Probably not going to play it. Can't really bring this knight back because of that. So our position you can feel is like trending a little bit worse, but now he's in an uncomfortable spot because c4, queen there, knight back. Jeez. Barely. Yeah, so he is going to do that. Ooh, did not see that move. Wait, the move was such a shock that I just believed it. It was a hanging rook. What was that? I guess we take. He just hung his rook. Sometimes the thing is, I'm very good at anticipating blunders, so when I expect them, it makes more sense to me. It's like, oh yeah, there's that blunder we were expecting. I suppose we probably need to keep the knights at this point. He's got some blunders for us. What was e5? This is a move of the match right here. It's like I'm very good at predicting blunders, but if someone blunders and I haven't predicted it, I'm like, at this elo especially, we're up to 2300. Like I've been used to taking free pieces for about 2000 elo points worth of games. Finally, I'm like, okay, we have to be at the point where you can't expect those anymore, but nope. Take it back. Gotta stay expecting. Thought we got off to a great start here, but knight b3, I really would have liked to get rid of the bishop. The only problem is that our a pawn becomes quite weak, but I don't know. Something feels like it would be worth it there. Knight d3 maybe should have gone. I don't know. Interesting game. Not too much in it. We got our relatively undisturbed opening. Got our a5 and our a4 move against this pawn structure. Because the thing is, they play a3 thinking you can't play this, but then you hit them with the double attack. And so they have to respond, and then you get a4. So that's a nice deal for us. Expat in Philippines from Norway. Interesting. Okay. There's a lot going on in that one. I think with e4, we're going to be able to get that. And this is probably, yeah, this is the position that requires the most precision, because we need to get e5, and with these three pieces, we're not really able to. And if I play c6, queen here, white could play that. Okay. Giving me the dark squared bishop. Never going to complain. I wish we could get our setup with e5, but obviously we cannot. So I mean, we got the dark square bishop, so extremely successful opening, and maybe we'll get back into something familiar with this. Can't really do that. Probably got to play g6 here. Maybe bishop f4 and knight f6 could win the queen here. Yeah, I guess not win the queen, because he can sack the pawn on g4, but certainly pretty good position. Take that. Don't even know which way we want to castle. Maybe queenside here. Oh, he's going to resign. I think that's a generous resign. I certainly wouldn't toss in the towel here. Only a pawn, although you can't be happy about bishop f4 and that. But I think that was a little bit early. Yeah, as for the opening, probably have to just make sure about this one, because yeah, it's not really the system, which is why I thought, okay, let's attack the bishop now, and for the most part, I mean, we'll just transpose. So all I know is this is the toughest, especially with the black pieces, because we're down a move. It's the toughest to get e5, and there's really just no time here. So I think it makes sense to attack this bishop. I have to if I want any chance of playing e5. Knight f3. Okay, we've played against this before. I think even today. Okay, queen b3, definitely. Takes rook b8, but that is material for us. Bishop b5 comes to mind, but yeah, I mean, taking should be good. Knight e5 looks like a little bit of a problem here. I can see a6 definitely. But not only do we have maybe knight e5 anyway, but also just taking a knight e5 looks good. I don't know what I would play here as him. Maybe a6, but this is pretty cut and dry. Yeah, with this threatened, it's pretty annoying. Queen d6 gets hit with knight c4, so he's just going to castle. Makes sense, because maybe you can drum up some counterplay. I don't know what it's going to be after knight takes e5, but there's some poor coordination for me there. So I think what we'll do is this. Because then knight e5 should be very strong. Like if rook takes knight e5, I'm liking that. So I think got to take with the queen. Yeah, I don't know what else. Rook takes knight e5 looks too easy. Okay. Knight here is actually playable because d1 is covered. Knight takes here is still good, but maybe there's bishop d7. I haven't got to the bottom of it. So I would say knight here appears to be the best. Bishop takes, queen c5. We have bishop e3. I definitely did not see knight e4. Just a little bit annoying, but are we still okay if we just go back? We'll have to play bishop e3 probably in place of taking a rook, which is not great, but at least this queen is still covering d1. And king here, honestly, is playable, but just kind of looks like there's something wrong with it. And king here can't be better than the alternatives. So I guess king e1. But yeah, needless counterplay after knight e4. For some reason, I was only looking at queen c5. Might still be lost. There's literally every piece of black's minus the knight is hanging. So you'd like to think that we're able to string something together here. Yep, that looks like a pretty good move. Keeps to the initiative, which is the main problem for us. Yeah, I guess we're just mated here. It's really too bad missing bishop f2. Just kind of annoying because position is just winning here. I mean, we have like a hanging rook on the board. So bishop f2 and knight e4 is just frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I guess you play queen, yeah, queen c2, bishop d2 doesn't really do much, and you can't castle, like, so there's not even a way out here because we've already moved our king. So unfortunately, I don't see much here. I think this is impossible to defend. Yeah, I don't see anything there. Definitely a nice sacrifice at the end, but the problem is it's a nice sacrifice that he has to play because he's so screwed. Everything's hanging. So definitely a nice one. Credit where credit's due, but again, I feel like the luck factor is at an all-time high. Like, how are we not winning these positions? Knight c4 is careless though. It's definitely a one that we missed. Knight c4 allowing this. I mean, I saw bishop here, but I was only looking at queen c5. But literally every single piece in the position is hanging. Every single one. And yet rook c4 is completely winning for black. Shocking. Shocking. It's so crazy. Yeah, that's mind-blowing. I mean, yeah, there's a billion ways to win. I mean, just take here and castle. Take here. Yes, he'll win material back like that, but not... I mean, he's winning a piece. We want a rook, so we're going to be up material no matter what. Damn. Weird game, I guess. I'm continuing to have success with queen b3 taking on b7. Like, people just can't handle this with bishop g4 and knight c6, but oof, a couple losses that shouldn't happen, I guess. We've taken a couple losses up clean material, like pieces and just, yeah, tons of material. I guess we go back to our trusty setup. It's the player, not the setup. Can never be the setup. a5. I feel like we've had this exact position before. Okay, maybe we want the knight back here. I don't know. His dark squares should be pretty weak. Maybe we can bring the bishop to b6. Maybe this. Should be able to get some dark square business going here. Here, there's b4. But maybe b4 you take and take c4. So try to get some semblance of an open line here. The thing that sucks about this is b4 is kind of destabilized. And we have to take this, which is probably not ideal. So we'll go bishop g5, because I'm not really seeing the future on that diagonal anymore. So may as well get rid of that piece. Takes looks... Well, I think we should be happy about that move. Rook b8. Knight on e6 is the dream. And we can definitely get there via f8. But knight c5 is also very good. Okay, so he wants to give me a pawn just to get out of that pin instead of moving the rook. I will fall for it and win the pawn. Yeah, white should definitely bring that pawn to b5. That's like a guaranteed good idea because it basically gets the d5 square assured. So we're preparing for this and trying to get ready there. Knight h4, we have g6. Bishop f8, go back to my talking ways. This pawn isn't really hanging, but I'll still play king up. Probably could have used the other rook for that. I think he's basically doing nothing here. We'll see if he wants to play that move. He does not. Don't really know what this is all about. Maybe for knight f5, but it's a little bit peculiar. Play queen e6. Hit this. We also need to watch the knight, so probably like bishop e7 or g7. Knight h5 looks like a pretty decent move here. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. I don't know. Queen h2 looks a little bit lame. Bishop g7 if needed. Knight f5 is a very high energy move. I suppose we'll just take. You can sort of see some idea there. I think we have to just keep taking these pawns because this is a pretty good move as well, but no, we got to keep taking these pawns. Don't really know what's happening, but I know I got to keep taking these pawns. Let's go here, and I guess the nice thing is that takes does get mated. It's kind of weird. Actually, I should have just played queen takes d5 to really cement that idea. But it looks like it will be a mate on the back rank anyway. Yeah, it feels like the last couple games there wasn't much to say because my opponents were down pieces by like move 10 or 20, even though we didn't actually get wins out of them. There hasn't been much to say because the games haven't been played that well in the opening, but This one, I guess bishop takes f6. I can't say that it's a very good move. So maybe not played that well either, but he didn't blunder any material, so... And here, that was a really good move, knight d2. Made me trade light squared bishops, so this was reasonably successful. I don't know, it's around even. That was clearly a mistake. And as long as we have the mental fortitude to keep our pawns like this, not get tempted to push or take or do anything, then we'll be fine. Okay, d6. Oh, bishop f4 is very friendly. Okay. It's time to get the queen to c7, I believe. And I think knight h5 is on my radar. Probably next, I want to say. I will consider it next. Especially after the queen moves away, just feels like we can get this move a little easier. I don't know. This is my least favorite thing about this opening is dealing with the bishop against the queen there, so I like to just get rid of it. We'll see if this can be taken. I'm not sure. Maybe it can. All right, get rid of that bishop. Maybe a5 first would have been nice, but I don't know. I didn't want to deal with knight g5. Yeah, so we get to take this now, which is a pretty significant difference. And maybe h6. Knight f3, bishop e6, or bishop g4, but e6 looks extremely solid. Okay, we're seeing the very high energy f4. Makes sense. Gotta watch out for knight takes c5 now. We've kind of made that available by playing this, because now we can take and then take that. So maybe time to trade one of these things here. I think we're going to take this. Probably not the most desirable, but yeah, just castle here. f5 is particularly bad. This one looks just fine for him. Let's take. We have b4, so in an effort to not exchange queens, I feel like you lose here. And yeah, I don't know that our position is anything special with 94 on the horizon, but probably a bit better than what it would have been dealing with the attack there. Let's go back. I think I'm going to play f5. I don't know about this, but we'll give it a try. Wasn't really feeling just sitting here. The king up. I do want to play g5, but at the moment, not possible. push the H pawn. Maybe G4 and H4. Everything's defended, which is nice. Knight D5. We'll go rook takes H4. So we don't lose material. Surprisingly effective. Wow. F3. I think we can just wait and take the rook. Sorry, the knight. Yeah, knight g2 is amazingly effective. Wow. It looks like black's completely winning here. But knight g2, it's a miracle. Here, there's rook check. If we don't take, we get hit with knight there, and knight g6 will be coming after. Wow. Knight g2 is crazy. Because, yeah, black's basically breaking through here for a win. But knight g2, wow, holds everything together. Miracle. We're definitely a little bit worse here, I would say. Don't care much for my position. But anytime that we're up against bishop f4, it's just, you know, it's a little tougher to achieve everything we want, mainly with the black pieces. With white, it doesn't really matter. Openings like the Caro-Kann, where you see that bishop come out, very easy to handle with e4, but yeah, just being down that move makes this so much harder to handle. Okay, we just want to get e4 in. I guess we can play b4 here. Interesting. Okay, we're definitely going to trade off that bishop. I think b6. Okay. Can't really go there. We can go knight d5. Yeah, this knight gets handled really nicely by g3, but there's some weak squares as a result. Which is why I'm looking at this, but then our pawn is hanging. So I'm like, how can we do everything? I guess we go here. I know it looks weird to take that bishop because it wasn't doing anything, but the resulting position should favor us with that knight. Just not very useful there. This bishop will come alive on a diagonal like that in the future. This move's a little bit stronger than I thought. Guess we got to go here. Takes, there's knight c5, and that looks like it does the job. Although there's an interesting sack to be had there. But yeah, probably not smart. Taking here just never really, I don't know, never really feels right. You might have to play d4. It's hard to, like, I don't know. Think of another move that could work, because if we don't defend c5, then nothing feels correct. We're going to have to deal with a lot of tempi lost here. Okay, not at all what I was expecting. Guess we take and go take that. We are up a pawn here, I think. Rook c2 would be nice. And we might be able to make a mating net here, especially if he goes knight d5 and takes. So goes here. We have e7 as well. We should be able to push. Weird queen f6 move, but honestly, shades of an opening that I invented myself. So knight on g6, but unfortunately for him, we definitely know how to handle that knight move with just g3. But I thought he played, honestly, kind of a better middle game than us. We should have played d4, and too much time went by without playing it. Finally, we had a moment to do it, and we just had to. I thought he should have gone here, but yeah, kind of blundered, and then it should be pretty easy from here. The knight is dominated. We've definitely had this before, the same position. You know, bishop there, when I can play knight g5, automatic. Automatic. Let's go g3. Feels a little bit useful. a6, a5. No, he decides to go knight there. So queen there, I was thinking of b4. Bishop's hit, so we'll have to move. Can we get away with this? If my bishop can reach c4, we should be happy. I think this is a very good position. I was gonna say maybe even that one. At some point, f4 needs to be played. Is that some point now? Let's take here. If this guy takes, then maybe b4. And if that one takes, then I think f4. There's bishop a5, there's b4. I might bring this bishop back. To maybe deal with that knight. I don't know. Still not sure how we want to play. Maybe b4. It's hard to say what the best continuation is. Let's go here. There's no knight. e5. I think I want to put the king on e2. That has no bearing on me. Some pressure. I assume we'll see rook c8, so kind of a non-move by me. How can we break through here? What can we do? Really know how to break through this position. GG Beckett. Definitely a game which was tough to break through. I've noticed a very clear pattern, which is the positions that are tough to break through are the ones that look the best to start off. We're definitely far ahead here, but I've noticed my own struggles. Like, it's almost like the position is so good, you can never lose it. You're sitting here, beautiful, beautiful position. Bishop is rerouting, everything's great, but my opponents often get this like weird fortress. So in hindsight, definitely f4 was not the move, and I thought it really was. Knight f6 was way more powerful than I thought. I don't know. Anyway, we're much better here. We're the only one that can dictate anything, but doesn't feel like it's enough to ever win. Okay, we found some bishop b4, bishop d6. We ended up winning, but still not that convinced. The opening was fantastic though, so in terms of the system in the opening, I mean, can't blame it. We immediately jump in with Knight g5, and I like it. I like it already. All right, knight f3. e5 looks like a free pawn type of move. So knight takes here. Yeah, something with the way he's playing looks suspicious. Just keep everything defended. Up material, so I would say very willing to trade. Up a pawn and the bishop pair. We should be doing just fine here. Okay, we're dealing with this soon. We have this one. e5 is pretty good here, I think. Bishop c2. King d5, f4. It's mate. But the bishops are dominating here. Yeah, even if he plays a different move and h6 or something, like, we can always undermine things. It's kind of impossible to keep everything defended. I think we have the ideal structure here. Kind of a cool mate as well. Not much to say about this game. When I saw e5, it was hanging. I played this pretty quick. And then this, like, I had to play knight c4. At this point, the guy's in serious trouble. Just a terrible opening by black. Yeah, pretty much losing. I mean, e5 is a hanging pawn, so you know it's terrible, but bishop d6. Fortunately, we were still able to win that pawn. Okay, we're playing Luke. Same game here. I think we need a knight h4. Yeah, he does go c4 early. Knight h4. Yeah, knight h4 is not good here anymore. So probably just rook e1. We can take as well, but I don't know if that's the vibe. Like rook e1. Maybe queen back to b1 if rook went to c8 there. I think you're supposed to hand over these double pawns if you can. I know it doesn't seem like a massive achievement, but I think this makes sense. Hello, Yasser. I'm a trading Timmy here. Trade everything. Let's take this. Can we show anything with the bishop versus the knight? This is going to require too much precision. We need to play c4, but I don't think we're going to be afforded that privilege. Yeah, this is a threat here, but we're planning to move this anyway. Allowing us to play c4. That doesn't strike me as good. Put it that way. Jeez, rook d8. I guess king g7. Flying by the seat of your pants here. I think we should start with this. A lot of mistakes to be had. And mistakes were had. And mistakes were had. He didn't miss the opportunity. Don't think there's any recovery here because after taking, there's even the great rook d8 check followed by this. Everything kind of falls at once here. And I guess bishop takes f6. Maybe rook d6 is also the way to go, but I would say bishop f6 is slightly more classy. Just b3. I mean, yeah, anything should win here. Take that check. Can also take here. We have the h pawn here, so. GG. Well, fortunate that he fell for a simple tactic that made the game much easier after that. Wasn't much in this game. Here, we should immediately go with our knight h4 move, so queen c2. Not that c4 is a problem. I don't really care about c4 in terms of the eval, but I care because it trades pieces, and yeah, it's just annoying. So knight h4 would have preferred. Remember, I was saying this bishop is the killer in this system, so if you can get rid of it at all costs, it's the light squared bishop that you got to deal with. Go d6 against e4. Bishop d3, we go e5 right away. Knight c3, we go with our knight instead. I assume castles here. I think we'll just continue with c6. Especially after knight to c3. Here I'm going to go here anyway because I feel like I need to defend that. And are we in time to castle and play rook e8? We're not. So sad. So sad. How are we going to handle this? Can't think of anything except moves that you know, we haven't really seen before. Like bishop d6 to lose the... Like I can't play b5 because a4 is a killer. So unfortunately, we're just gonna have to lose some material. Like we're gonna have to lose our bishop, which is annoying. Yeah, playing with the black side once in a while, you just run into these weird move orders where it's kind of annoying to set up what we want. Knight g4. Yeah. Kind of have to just go here, I guess. But a4, rook e8, we can live. Okay, yeah, I feel like you have to take now. If you don't take, we go bishop back, and I don't mind this at all. I mean, yeah, even knight f5 is contained. I would have taken that bishop if I was playing with white. Anyway, bishop g7 if needed. I think the tuck makes the most sense here. Oh my. Just lost the game on the spot there. Bishop h6. Careless. Looks like we're pinning, but we're actually like we're getting ourselves with that move, not the other way around. I don't think knight c5 is anything. Yes, annoying. Bishop h6. The move was so bad that we had to waste time going back. I mean, we should have lost the game after knight e6, so I guess we're just kind of lucky that we can even keep fighting. Takes, knight e3. Again, having to put up with some uncomfortable positions, but we can take this bishop, play bishop e6, and just hope. Surely knight e3. a4 just to try to create some distraction. Seems reasonable. I didn't have a lot of faith in this move, but I guess it's playable. Bishop d6. f3 is not not crazy. It can be taken, right? Rook e4. The position at the end is a draw. Not that it matters due to the time, but rook e4 is crazy. Down a pawn, just trading rooks like that. Definitely did not expect that. But yeah, had my opponent had more time here, then actually is a draw all of a sudden. But could never have expected rook e4. As far as the opening, I found it particularly annoying here. So I'm wondering, what are we supposed to do? Because it feels like I almost need to move this knight and play f6, but it's insane. Right? Something like this. f6 and knight f7. This is actually approved here as a decent move. I'm shocked by that. Engine actually really doesn't mind this. Wow, knight g4, knight h6, and pawn to f6. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. But yeah, we're like one move short, because if we could have this position with our turn, rook here and bishop f8, and then everything's covered. But it's just that one extra move, and then. But yeah, wow, knight g4. Let's remember that, I guess. We want to go here. Knight f3, very likely to be played, but excluded for the moment. Again, we'd like to, but I don't think we can. Next move, I think we will. Knight takes, we have that. Just have to get rid of that bishop. I can't deal with it. Queenside expansion. We have g6 to play. I'm gonna stop knight g5. It's tough because I want to play g6, but then still knight g5, knight there can be played. Rook to d8 makes a lot of sense here. This pawn, maybe he's going to be thinking, okay, time to play a3, and he does, yes. That's what we like to see. We need to start getting these pawns on light squares, but it's a very delicate procedure, this one here. So after rook there. Now the bishop can come to e4. Not that comfortable yet. Bishop e4, we can go back. Knight e4, we can go back. We go back no matter what. You're getting the point? I don't know about this. It'll definitely be probably g4 that we see now. I think it's almost a now or never for the move g4. Knight here doesn't really do anything except threaten to go back, maybe. Let's go like this to stop that move. Okay, maybe this could be played, so let's play this one. Bishop seems to be preventing all of the potential moves here. So we do want to play h4, I think, in the future. I'm kind of just... I mean, I guess I'm trying to play c5 and b4, but... It needs the right planning. Let's go here. I think, is it time for b4? Or here in b4? Yeah, because now the knight has to move. I think b4. Takes, and there's no way to guard b2, so... I feel that it should be a win. Might go bishop e2, but at this point, it doesn't even matter. We can even take it. And this knight has nowhere to go. We can do this one, but king b3 in some ways feels more complete. We can play bishop here. So now the knight is, yeah, just stuck. To be honest, I think bishop a5, bishop b4 is, yeah, just take here. GG to Julian. Not a bad game at all. But in the opening, I mean, I can't stress enough. Gotta take that damn bishop. It's so frustrating against the queen because it's like where a queen always goes. I thought we were slightly better here. Nothing crazy. Huge move missed by white. Not like you're dead if you don't find it, but I think you're suffering if you don't play g4 because we play h5, and that's a big deal. Now, every single pawn is stuck because you can't move this one, you can't move this one. Every single pawn has a reason why it can't move. And we just bring the king over, c5, and then b4. And yeah, white has basically been doing nothing except moving pieces in this small box here. So obviously the position has not been improving. Okay, we got d3. e4 is safe to pre-move there. May have to go back. Let's go a4. He's already played a6, so playing a5 is not that desirable. Bishop c4 or knight c4. I like bishop e3 next. Yeah, bishop e3. That bishop is so annoying on a7, so let's get rid of it. Once again, this pawn structure should be giving me a pretty nice position here. Okay, we're gonna try to say hello to some of those dark squares there. Knight h5 will go there. Got knight c5 coming. Knight d6 coming. Taking control of those squares, and I think we probably will take this. I wanted to do the thing where you take with the queen and then take there, but unfortunately my rook is hanging on d1, which, yeah. Again, I like this pawn structure. We should be a bit better here because of it. Queen takes h4 doesn't work probably for a few reasons, but okay, this is what we like to see. Knight e3 into f5. And yeah, knight d6 is just gonna walk into it, but yeah, I don't know. There's not much in here. It looks like it's about even, but I feel always very good with these pawns because so many weaknesses here. Like the knight can end up on d6, c5. The bishop can get in from behind on c8 in an endgame later. The queen can sort of attack this, and all of a sudden queen a7 could be a big problem. All right. His username is Time Trouble. I'm gonna go e4 and go ahead and pre-move it. Okay, a4 here feels good, but I guess he's gonna go with b4, so I suppose we'll just let that happen. Just making all the useful moves before maybe I decide to do something else. Like c4 is not crazy, but we probably need to move here because this knight has nowhere to go, so what are we going to do? I think we'll try e5. Rare for this series, definitely. I like g3, bishop g2. Then yeah, probably takes in d4. I guess we'll take that. We can't really play pawn there, so let's go knight e5. I'd like to go knight f3. Obviously, it's not going to be good, so I think we need to play f3 here. Take this way. c5 hangs after he takes there, so it's never really desirable. But then what does black do? Probably got to bring the king in, or yeah, mobilize a different piece at this point. I was really debating king f2 or king h2, and I don't know if I made the right call. Okay, so really trying to get him to play this. I really don't believe in this bishop f3 thing. So first of all, we could take here, but I'm thinking that c3, yeah, that's just not necessary. So yeah, let's just take this back, and this is not going to be as relevant as this, I think. Everything falls here, and we can always trade on f3 as well. Okay, a5 is also loose. Let's play this because I really don't want like takes and then the rook takes on b3. So this keeps all the pieces out. And this trade should secure a very nice endgame where we're pressuring a5. I think, yeah, rook f5's pretty much the only move. Rook e5, rook h5. Definitely something to think about. We have rook a4, so should be a pretty easy win now. GG. And thank you, Pieces and Pawns, for the 5 subs. 5 kick. B5 was very aggressive, but, you know, I don't mind it from him. Yeah, it got to the point where I just didn't have any moves left. So, very unusual for this series to play E5. You almost never do, but... I like the position that we got. Probably should have gone king f2. We went to h2 instead. But yeah, these pieces are no good with the pressure there. Oh, okay. I guess maybe playing too quick. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this, but in general, I think we've been trying to keep the pawn there. Here, we're going to have to push, and we're going to have a very good position, but it is going to be different from any of the ones that we've had so far. It's at the point where, you know, a move like takes on h3 almost works. On the previous turn, I think we could have taken and played b5, so I think he kind of got away with one there a little bit. But let's see if we can make a sacrifice work, I guess. That seems like the plan. Knight g5. We have bishop h2 on rook c6, and I think I want to play knight e7. Interesting. Right, wow. Oh, I guess that works. So we're gonna have to go for our knight g5 plan. Oh, this guy's also falling. The house is coming down. Yikes, we have to bring the knight back this way, but that sucks because without knight g5, we don't have a single offensive threat. Huh. How can we make our first threat of the game? Yeah, I think we may have to abandon kingside stuff and make our way back into the center. I mean, we're just down 2 pawns here. And a very good one at that. Maybe queen c8 and take. I don't mind queen c8. Gotta just take without putting too much thought into it. Looks scary. Hopefully he gets scared of it. Queen d1, knight c3 I can see happening. In an effort to get back over to the king side, just blundering some material along the way. No, he's all in. Respect. He is all in. Cannot work. Let's start with that. We have queen g1 now and can't take it due to mate. But yeah, bishop takes on h3 was definitely the way to just spice the position up. It was nice that we could disguise it a little bit as something here, but yeah, bishop h3. Literally all we could dream of for the last 15 moves. This was well calculated because, I mean, first of all, after this, I'm assuming that we're crushing on the attack here. And I had it. I had the crushing attack. We set it up. I mean, this is a beautiful position for black. It's almost -2 and we're not up any material. But I thought this was the whole point. We just win material. Did not see. I mean, even if we don't win material, it's probably the wrong decision. So we can only blame ourselves. But bishop b5, you think you're getting out of it by pinning, and then knight c5, and the queen's defended. So even playing queen b8 is no use. So not much for us there. Go knight f3. Okay. He wants to play b4 after a4, I assume. So I think he'll play that, or yeah, something that helps that happen. Very similar game to the one we just had, actually. Very similar. Let's play c4 because if he plays this, we can toss in a5, e5 even. Pieces are going to have to go to some funny looking squares. This allows knight e5. Yeah, let's go here. Then we can get a trade in. I'd like to take with a knight, but I think knight e5 is always working. We just have to bring the pieces to the king side. Has to work. Here. Didn't need to drop that. b3 and then this was fine, but I guess this is our position now. Just he has like access to that square, which is a bit annoying. Because yeah, I feel like we could have this whole exact position, but without the access to this and with my pawn sitting there, so Toss the H pawn up there, I guess. There's no H6, is there? Is there H6? Kind of looks interesting. But I think he's on the ball, he can defend it. Oh, I did not see this. Playing a little bit lazy right now. Wow. E3. Well, that's it. I have to go here. Okay. I think he could have just played... They could have just played b2 there, given up the rook. This is probably going to be losing for him. It's unfortunate. Definitely deserved the win. But we deserve 2,400, I guess. Like, Queen A7 we saw, and I thought, okay, King F2, whatever. Meanwhile, thinking only aggro, but Rook D3, and yeah, the game's over. Because he should just leave it there and play B2 and make a queen. So, it was weird that he played C3, B3, but didn't see the follow-up. Because now, all of a sudden, he's lost. Knight has nowhere to go, and I'm just collecting this. So, all of a sudden, it's a bad position. And, yeah, if B2, we can catch it with the knight. Tough. 2,400 exactly. What a struggle. A lot of people just playing like B5. I don't know where this came from. All of a sudden, these guys are all about this B5 stuff. I guess so. Thank you for making it to the end of this episode of the Philidor Speedrun. This opening has been super successful for me, and I hope you guys are experiencing the same elo boost. As always, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss our next upload. I'll see you guys in the next one.